Similar to the banking industry in 2008, crypto firms are coming to the realization that the failure of just a few key firms might result in the collapse of the entire sector. However, cryptocurrency, in contrast to traditional financial institutions, only has itself to turn to for support. And that might not be enough. But the cryptocurrency industry is in disarray as one firm after another falls victim to the bear market, and that's where bailouts come into play. So, what do you think of crypto bailouts? And why do you think billionaires bail out crypto firms? Hello and welcome back to Crypto Cash Channel. What is a crypto bailout? And have you heard of crypto bailouts before? In today's video, we look at how the crypto bailout is rolling out. But, first, before we go on, a sub to the channel would be very appreciated. Comment, share the video, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up for the video. So, let's get into it. In light of the current state of the market, Binance, as one of the most influential players in the sector and possessor of a sizable cash reserve, is obligated to protect the interests of its customer base. And according to them, it is their responsibility to lend assistance to the sector as a whole and perhaps achieve success in doing so. But this is the case regardless of whether or not they derive any benefit from it or whether or not their return on investment is negative. Having stated that, there are likely to be a variety of different understandings of what is meant by the phrase bailout. And it's also not a black and white problem, like most things in the real world. So, it is essential to keep in mind that there are many different types of bailouts. To begin, a number of companies, endeavors, and products suffer from ineffective management, subpar operations, or inadequate design. They are, to put it another way, poor businesses. Unfortunately, many of these poor programs have a large number of users who have frequently been drawn in by incentives that were too generous, creative marketing methods, or blatant Ponzi schemes. And for such companies, they can't be bailed out. But in every given industry, there are often a greater number of failed endeavors than there are successful ones. And we can only hope that the successes will exceed the setbacks. Nevertheless, you get a general idea. The second group of firms that need bailouts is projects that had some very insignificant mistakes. It is possible to rectify problems such as excessive spending of money, insufficient cash reserve, and several other minor problems. These projects frequently feature a number of favorable characteristics, such as a product-market fit, the creation of income in normal market conditions, sound business models, respectable teams, and all the other favorable characteristics of a robust firm. These can be bailed out, and after that, it will be made sure that the problems that led to their being in this scenario in the first place are resolved. The third category contains the projects that will only narrowly succeed in completing the process. They have a limited budget to work with, hence, they are unable to continue growing at the appropriate rate since they do not have enough money. They may either wait it out, search for a financial infusion, or investigate the possibility of merging with or acquiring another company. When considered from the point of view of a potential investor or buyer, each one makes perfect sense. But who does the bailout in an industry with no government assistance? Well, because there is no central bank that is prepared to intervene, companies who are participating in problematic crypto markets are turning to one another for help. Within a span of a fortnight, the cryptocurrency-obsessed billionaire Sam Bankman and his firm's Freeds have devised plans to save both the cryptocurrency-focused quasi-bank BlockFi and the digital media company Voyager Digital. According to a statement released by the firm earlier last week, the FTX exchange operated by Coinbase has consented to provide BlockFi with a revolving credit line of $250 million. According to Bankman-Fried, the company is pinning its hopes on BlockFi's capacity to navigate the industry from a position of strength. And after BlockFi's admission earlier this month that it will be laying off 20% of its personnel, this news comes as no surprise. Earlier this month, the block revealed that BlockFi was in negotiations to secure funding in a transaction that would value the firm at $1 billion, which is a significant decrease from the company's previous valuation of $3 billion. According to Zach Prince, CEO and co-founder of FTX, this arrangement also promotes future collaboration and innovation between BlockFi and FTX. Voyager Digital has secured an agreement with one of Bankman Quantitative Freed's research businesses to receive funding in the amount of $500 million. The remaining $300 million will come from a separate 15,000 Bitcoin revolving facility, while cash and USDC stablecoins will be used to establish a credit line with a value of $200 million. The values of digital currencies have experienced a steep decline over the past several weeks, placing a number of the most significant market players in a financially difficult situation. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are experiencing significant losses as the market adjusts to rising interest rates from the Federal Reserve as well as the collapse of Terra USD, a so-called stablecoin, which resulted in a loss of $60 billion, and Luna, its sister token. The current suspension of all account withdrawals by Celsius can be attributed to what the company calls extreme market circumstances. It is estimated that the value of the token derivative known as STETH, which the company uses to lend out clients cryptocurrency and generate bigger profits, is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Also, according to a story in the Financial Times, the cryptocurrency hedge fund known as Three Arrows Capital was compelled to unload its leveraged bets on a number of different currencies. But how bad is the situation? Voyager made it very evident how severe the damage was that was brought on by 3AC's troubles. According to the information provided by the company, a loss of $660 million would occur in the event that 3AC did not repay the $660 million that it owes. 3AC has borrowed a total of $310 million, comprised of $15,250 worth of bitcoins and $350 million worth of USDC stablecoins. According to the statement released by Voyager, 3AC requested an initial payment in USDC of $25 million by June 24 and full repayment of the amount owed in both USDC and Bitcoin by June 27. However, neither of these sums has been received as of yet. According to a statement released by the company, the possibility of filing lawsuits against Three Arrows Capital has been considered by the company's legal specialists. Voyager, on the other hand, asserts that the firm is unable to provide an estimate at this time on the amount of money that it can reclaim from 3AC. Following the publication of the news, the price of Voyager common stock dropped by as much as 60%. Zhu Su, one of the co-founders of 3AC, has claimed in the past that the company is considering both the sale of its assets and a rescue by another business in order to head off a potential financial disaster. The 30-year-old, Bankman-Fried, has become something of a savior as the market for cryptocurrencies, which is already worth $900 billion, continues to struggle with a growing lack of liquidity. Bankman-Fried told NPR that his exchange has a responsibility to seriously consider interfering, even if doing so would result in a loss of money, in order to prevent the further spread of a sickness that is infectious. To put it another way, the cryptocurrency industry does not have anything analogous to a financial bailout scheme in place. This means that when things go wrong, businesses like him do not have the option of turning to the federal government for assistance. But what are the thoughts and feelings of the government in regard to these bailouts? According to Hester Pierce, a commissioner with the SEC, the most recent crisis could end up providing a more robust foundation for the industry in the years to come. Nevertheless, this is not the only benefit that she finds in the recent drop in the market's price. When the cryptocurrency market is through a period of great stress, it may be an incredible learning opportunity for market participants as well as authorities. The ability to recognize how things are related can be beneficial to all of us. It is a chance for market regulators as well as market participants to learn from one another, which will allow them to gain a deeper comprehension of how the market operates. On the other hand, it has been 4 years since the industry saw such a collapse, which was a significant amount of time before many of the most key officials in the administration were even in place. For instance, the initial coin offering market was on the point of collapsing when Hester Pierce was confirmed as an SEC commissioner in January of 2018. And when she first started working in this industry, derivatives markets were in their infancy, decentralized finance, DeFi, had not yet established itself, and nearly no one had ever heard of an NFT. On the other hand, does this suggest that the regulator will do nothing more than watch from a distance? Well, no. According to Pierce, the SEC may get more recommendations that can be put into action during down markets than it does during periods of bull markets. In addition, the SEC is keeping a careful eye on any behavior linked to cryptocurrencies that comes under its jurisdiction and is attempting to raise awareness of any potential warning signs. And that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. How bad do you think crypto exchanges are hit by the current market crash? And is it a good idea to bail out the falling ones? Also, if you are interested in more videos like this, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more amazing videos. Goodbye. See you in the next video.